Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. Honey, you still up? Isla's voice floated up the stairs, a gentle lilt to her tone. I could use your help with something? Cody, hunched over his laptop, sighed. He'd been working late again, trying to wrap up a project for work. What is it, Isla? I'm kind of in the middle of something here. It'll just take a sec, please. I need a second opinion on something for my new project. Cody rubbed his eyes, pinching the bridge of his nose. Okay, give me a minute. Let me save this and I'll be right down. He hurried through the familiar routine, saving his work and shutting down the computer. Pushing back from his desk, he stood and stretched, the creak of his muscles a familiar companion. As he made his way downstairs, the scent of freshly brewed coffee wafted towards him, along with the faint hint of lavender that always reminded him of Isla. The door to Isla's studio was ajar, and he found her standing in front of a half-finished dress form, a tape measure draped around her neck. Her auburn hair was pulled back in a messy bun, a few stray strands framing her face. She wore a paint-splattered apron over a simple tank top and jeans, her sleeves pushed up to her elbows, revealing a smudge of purple fabric dye on one forearm. Thanks for coming, she said, looking up and offering a quick smile. I know it's late and you've been working hard, but I hit a bit of a snag with this dress and I'd love your take on it. Cody stepped into the room, his eyes scanning the space. The walls were covered in fabric swatches, mood boards, and sketches, a testament to Isla's growing passion for fashion design. Her sewing machine sat in one corner, a stack of colorful thread spools beside it. What seems to be the problem? He asked, crossing the room to stand beside her. Well, I'm experimenting with a new silhouette, something a bit more flowy and romantic. But I can't quite get the draping right. She gestured to the form, a soft lilac fabric hanging limply from the shoulders. It's just not falling the way I want it to. I've tried adjusting the pattern, but it's not working. Cody studied the dress, his brows furrowed in concentration. Have you tried playing with the hem? Maybe a higher slit would add some movement and give it the flow you're looking for. Isla's eyes lit up. That's a brilliant idea. I was so focused on the top that I didn't even think about the bottom. Let me grab my scissors and we can give it a go. She turned to a nearby table, scattering scissors, pins, and a measuring tape across its surface. Cody took a moment to admire her enthusiasm. This side hustle of hers was becoming a true passion project. Here, she said, returning to the dress form and handing him the scissors. You cut, I'll hold. That way we don't risk any accidental nicks. Cody took the scissors, a reluctant smile playing at the corners of his mouth. You drive a hard bargain, Mrs. Wilson. Together, they adjusted the hem, Cody carefully snipping the fabric while Isla guided the fall of the material. With each cut, the dress transformed, the fabric gaining a new life and movement. Perfect, Isla breathed, stepping back to admire their handiwork. That was exactly what it needed. You have a real eye for this, you know? Cody felt a flush of pride. Well, I am married to a fashion designer. I've picked up a thing or two. Isla beamed at him, her green eyes sparkling. True, but still, you have a natural talent. You should consider a career change. She laughed, stepping forward to kiss him gently on the cheek. Thank you for humoring me. Now I can finally call it a night and get some sleep. Anytime, Cody replied, setting the scissors down. But it's getting late, and I should probably head to bed too. Big day tomorrow. Indeed it is. Isla slipped her arms around his waist, resting her head on his chest. Good night, my love. Good night. Cody held her close, breathing in the scent of her hair. As he turned to leave, he cast one last glance at the dress form, a sense of satisfaction washing over him. The next morning, Cody stumbled downstairs, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. The sun streamed through the windows, casting a warm glow over the kitchen. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the sound of soft music greeted him as he entered the room. Isla stood at the counter, a mug in her hand, her eyes bright and alert. She wore a simple white blouse and a flowing floral skirt, her hair tumbling over her shoulders in loose waves. "Good morning, sleepyhead," she said, turning to place a kiss on his cheek. "Coffee's ready. I take it you'd like a cup?" Cody yawned and stretched, his bones popping with the effort. "That would be amazing. Thanks." She handed him a mug, steam curling lazily upwards. "You have a big day ahead of you, don't you?" "Yep," he replied, taking a cautious sip. The rich, dark roast hit the spot. "Meeting with the new client. Hopefully we can land this account and boost the old revenue stream." "I know you will," Isla said, her confidence unwavering. "But it's still nerve-wracking, isn't it? New clients always are." Cody nodded, setting his mug down with a clunk. "You're telling me. But enough about work. How's your project going? Did you make any progress after I left?" "It's coming along nicely, thanks to your help," Isla replied, a smile playing at the corners of her mouth. "In fact, I was thinking, since you were so helpful last night, I'd like to ask a bigger favor." Cody raised an eyebrow, a sense of foreboding settling in the pit of his stomach. "Oh? I want you to model for me." The request hung in the air between them, heavy with implication. Cody sputtered, coughing slightly as his coffee went down the wrong pipe. "What?" Isla's smile widened, a playful glint in her eyes. "You heard me. I want you to be my model, just for a little while so I can get a sense of how the dress moves on a real body." Cody set his mug down with a clatter, his heart pounding in his chest. "Isla, I don't know about this." "Why not?" she pressed, stepping closer, her eyes beseeching. "Just for a few minutes, please? I really need the help, and you have no idea how much it would mean to me." Cody chewed his lip, his mind racing. He'd never modeled before, and the thought of stepping in front of a camera was more than a little intimidating. But Isla's enthusiasm was contagious, and he couldn't deny that he felt flattered by her request. "Come on," she cajoled, taking his hand in hers. "It'll be fun. Besides, when else will you get the chance to wear a custom-made dress designed just for you?" "You've got me there," Cody conceded, a reluctant smile tugging at his lips. "All right, fine, I'll do it. But just for a few minutes, and you have to promise that these photos will never see the light of day." "Scout's honor," Isla said, holding up her hand in a mock Boy Scout salute. "Now let's get you fitted and fabulous," Cody laughed, shaking his head in mock exasperation. But as he followed Isla upstairs to her studio, his heart raced with a mixture of excitement and nerves. This was certainly not how he'd expected to spend his morning. The fabric was soft against his skin, the lilac color a perfect complement to his olive complexion. Cody stood in front of the full-length mirror, his eyes widening at the reflection staring back at him. "Wow," he whispered, reaching out to touch the sleeve of the dress. "I can't believe I'm wearing a dress!" Isla stood behind him, a proud smile on her face. "You look absolutely stunning. I knew this color would suit you." He turned to face her, the skirt of the dress swirling around his legs. "I feel kind of ridiculous, to be honest. But in a good way, I think." Isla laughed, her eyes sparkling with delight. "You look amazing, Cody, truly. And I promise, once we get some photos, you can change into something more comfortable." Cody nodded, running a hand through his hair. "Lead the way, then. Let's get this over with." They made their way downstairs to the living room, where Isla had set up a makeshift photo studio. She'd positioned a backdrop and a ring light, her camera at the ready. Soft instrumental music played in the background, lending an air of sophistication to the proceedings. "Okay," she said, her voice taking on a more professional tone. "Let's start with some basic poses. Stand tall, hands on your hips. That's it. Now look straight at the camera and give me your best pout." Cody complied, feeling more than a little self-conscious. He struck a pose, channeling his inner supermodel, his features schooled into what he hoped was a sultry expression. Isla's shutter clicked rapidly, capturing him from various angles. "Fabulous! Now, let's try something a little more dynamic. Try spinning, letting the dress flow with your movement." Cody did as she instructed, feeling the fabric float around him as he turned. He couldn't help but laugh, the sound filling the room. "This is crazy!" "It's supposed to be fun," Isla reminded him, her eyes sparkling with amusement. "Now give me your best twirl, arms outstretched." He obeyed, spinning with abandon, the dress flaring out around him. The motion made him dizzy, and he staggered slightly, laughing as he tried to regain his balance. "You're a natural," Isla said, her voice warm with pride. "I can't believe this is your first time modeling." Cody struck a mock haughty pose, feeling more relaxed now that he'd gotten into the swing of things. "I have my moments." "All right, just a few more shots and then we're done," Isla promised, lowering her camera for a moment. "I know you have that big meeting today, so I won't keep you much longer." "Thanks," Cody said, readjusting his stance, one hand on his hip. "I appreciate it, and I have to admit this has been kind of fun." "Good," Isla replied, raising her camera once more. "Now give me fierce. Own that dress like you own the room." Cody felt a surge of confidence. He stood taller, his expression turning serious as he channeled his inner strength. He'd always had a good poker face, and now he let a steely gaze emerge. Isla's shutter clicked rapidly, capturing the intensity in his eyes. "Yes, that's it! That's the Cody I know, confident and commanding." He held the pose, feeling a sense of power coursing through him. It was exhilarating, standing there in a dress, yet exuding a strength he didn't know he could convey. All right, that's a wrap," Isla said, lowering her camera with a satisfied smile. "I have more than enough shots to work with, and we both have work to get to." Cody relaxed his stance, a grin breaking across his face. "Well, if you insist, I guess I should probably get changed and grab some breakfast before I head out." "I'll make you a to-go cup of coffee," Isla offered, stepping forward to peck him on the cheek. "And Cody, yeah? Thanks again. This really means a lot to me." Cody's smile softened. "Anytime, Isla. You know I'll always support you, no matter how crazy your requests are." In the weeks that followed, Cody found himself drawn more and more into Isla's world of fashion and design. What started as a one-time modeling gig evolved into a regular occurrence, with Isla frequently calling on him to help with her latest creation. He'd come home from work to find her beaming at him, a new outfit in her hands, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Try this on for me, please. I think the cut will be perfect for your broad shoulders." And try as he might to resist, Cody found himself unable to deny her. The thrill of seeing her face light up as he strutted his stuff was addicting, and he enjoyed the sense of camaraderie it brought them. On weekends, they'd spend hours in her studio, trying on different outfits and experimenting with new looks. Cody would offer his opinion on fabrics and cuts, and Isla would bounce ideas off him, treating him like her trusted advisor. One evening, as Cody slipped on a silky emerald green blouse, the soft fabric sliding over his skin, he paused, his reflection in the mirror giving him pause. What do you think?" Isla asked, stepping back to survey the effect. "The color really brings out your eyes." Cody turned this way and that, his eyes narrowing as he studied his reflection. The blouse draped elegantly over his frame, the silk caressing his skin. "It's definitely comfortable," he conceded. "Comfortable?" Isla laughed, stepping forward to tweak the cuff of the sleeve. "That's not what fashion is about, my dear. It's about confidence, about owning who you are and what you wear." Cody shot her a rueful grin. "I'll take your word for it. I'm still getting used to all of this." "I know, and you're doing amazingly well," Isla said, her eyes softening. "But listen, if it's all too much, just say the word and I'll stop bugging you. I never meant to pressure you into this." Cody shook his head, reaching out to take her hand. "No, I want to do this. For you, and because I have to admit, it's actually kind of fun." Isla beamed at him, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you. It means the world to me that you're so supportive. And you know, you really do look fabulous in that blouse." Cody chuckled, his cheeks warming with a faint flush. "Remind me to wear something baggy and ill-fitting tomorrow to counter this." Isla swatted his arm playfully.
Don't you dare! You wear those jeans that hug your butt nicely, too.
Their laughter filled the room, echoing off the walls that had borne witness to the evolution of their shared passion. As the days turned into weeks and months, Cody's wardrobe underwent a subtle transformation. He found himself reaching for the silk blouse instead of his usual button-down, or opting for a pair of fitted pants that accentuated his lean frame. The boundaries between his and hers blurred, and he relished the feeling of soft fabrics and well-cut clothes against his skin. One afternoon, as he prepared to head out for a meeting, Cody realized with a start that his entire outfit, from the tailored blazer to the slim-fit pants, had been designed and tailored by Isla for him. It was a strange yet empowering feeling, and he straightened his shoulders, feeling a surge of confidence as he left the house. It was on one of their usual weekend fittings that things took an unexpected turn. Cody stood in front of the mirror, admiring the fit of a new pair of trousers, when Isla appeared behind him, holding a wig in her hands. "What do you think?" she asked, her eyes alight with excitement. "I was thinking of trying something new with my designs, branching out into accessories." Cody took the wig from her, running his fingers through the long, wavy locks. It was a deep auburn, much like Isla's natural hair color. "It's gorgeous," he said, turning to face her. "But why the sudden interest in wigs?" "Well," Isla began, stepping forward to adjust the wig on his head, "I've been thinking about trying my hand at trans and drag queen costumes. It's a whole different ballgame, with so many opportunities for bold designs and over-the-top looks." Cody studied his reflection, the long tresses framing his face in a way that was both foreign and intriguing. "I can see that," he said, his voice softening as he considered the idea. "And I guess I could be your test subject, as always." Isla's eyes lit up. "Really? Oh, Cody, that would be amazing. I know it's a big ask, but I think you'd be incredible at it. And it would mean the world to me to have your support with this new venture." Cody hesitated, his heart racing as he considered her request. This would be a significant step beyond his comfort zone, but he trusted Isla implicitly. "Okay," he said, taking a deep breath. "Let's do it. But you have to talk me through the whole drag queen culture thing. I'm a bit of a newbie here." Isla whooped in delight, throwing her arms around him. Thank you! This is going to be amazing, I just know it." Cody laughed, returning her embrace. "Well, if nothing else, it'll certainly be an adventure." And so the transformation began. Isla applied his makeup with a deft hand, explaining the art of contouring and highlighting to enhance his features. Thick, false eyelashes gave him a dramatic gaze, and a bold lip color completed the look. As Cody gazed at his reflection, he barely recognized the person staring back at him. The wig transformed his appearance, the long auburn locks softening his angular features. The makeup was even more dramatic, with smoky eyeshadow, bold liner, and a deep red lip that made his mouth look fuller, more sensual. "Wow," he breathed, turning his head this way and that to take in the full effect. "I look stunning," Isla finished for him, her voice soft with awe. "You look absolutely incredible, Cody. Like a whole new person." Cody swallowed, his throat suddenly dry. "I feel like a new person," he admitted, his eyes meeting hers in the mirror. "It's strange, but also kind of thrilling." Isla stepped closer, her hand resting on his shoulder. "That's the power of transformation," she said, her eyes shining with excitement. "When you change your outside, it can change how you feel on the inside, too." Cody nodded, understanding dawning. He'd always been confident in his masculinity, but this new look made him feel powerful in a different way. It was as if he'd tapped into a hidden part of himself, one that reveled in the artistry and drama of crossdressing. "Okay," he said, straightening his shoulders. "What's next?" "I'm ready to learn more." Isla grinned, her excitement palpable. "Next, we practice walking in heels. It's not as easy as it looks, trust me." She produced a pair of strappy stilettos, holding them out to him. Cody eyed them warily, his brow furrowing. "Are you sure about this? I've never worn heels before." "That's why we practice," Isla said, her tone reassuring. Every queen has to start somewhere, and I'll be right here to catch you if you stumble." Cody took the shoes from her, sitting down to slip them on. They felt strange on his feet, the arch higher than anything he'd worn before. He stood up carefully, wobbling a bit as he found his balance. "Take it slow," Isla coached, her hand hovering near his elbow. Heel toe, heel toe. "Keep your back straight and your head up." Cody did as she instructed, taking tentative steps across the room. It was harder than it looked, his ankles threatening to give out with each step. But as he focused on his posture and the rhythm of his stride, he found himself growing more confident. "You're doing great!" Isla cheered, clapping her hands. "Keep going, you've got this." Cody grinned, feeling a surge of pride. He strutted across the room, his hips swaying with each step. It was exhilarating, the rush of adrenaline making him feel giddy. "I think I'm getting the hang of this," he said, turning to face Isla with a flourish. "What do you think?" "I think you're a natural," she replied, her eyes sparkling with delight. "But walking is just the beginning. To really sell the illusion, you need to master the art of lip-syncing." Cody's eyes widened. "Lip-syncing? Like to music?" Isla nodded, grabbing her phone and scrolling through her playlist. "Lip-syncing is a fundamental part of drag performance. You choose a song that speaks to you, and then you mouth along to the words while giving it your all with facial expressions and dance moves." She selected a track, the opening notes of a pop diva's latest hit filling the room. "Here, watch me first." Isla began to move, her body swaying to the beat as she mouthed along to the lyrics. Her face was expressive, her eyes wide and her mouth forming each word with exaggerated precision. She strutted and spun, her movements perfectly timed to the music. Cody watched, transfixed. He'd always known Isla was talented, but seeing her like this was a revelation. She was magnetic, her energy infectious. As the song ended, Isla struck a pose, her chest heaving with exertion. "See?" she said, grinning at him. "It's all about the performance. You have to commit to it, really sell the emotion of the song." Cody nodded, feeling a flicker of nervousness. "I'm not much of a dancer," he admitted, biting his lip, "but I'll give it a try." Isla queued up the song again, motioning for him to take center stage. "Just let yourself feel the music," she encouraged. "Don't overthink it, just let your body move." Cody took a deep breath, closing his eyes as the opening notes washed over him. He began to move, tentatively at first, his hips swaying to the beat. As the lyrics kicked in, he mouthed along, feeling a bit foolish at first. But as the song built, so did his confidence. He strutted and spun, his movements growing bolder, more exaggerated. He channeled the diva's attitude, his face morphing into a fierce expression as he lip-synced with gusto. By the time the song ended, Cody was breathless, his heart pounding with exhilaration. He struck a pose, his head held high, a grin spreading across his face. Isla whooped and cheered, rushing forward to engulf him in a hug. "That was amazing!" she exclaimed, squeezing him tight. "You're a natural performer, Cody. I knew you had it in you." Cody laughed, returning her embrace. "That was incredible," he said, his voice giddy with excitement. "I never knew lip-syncing could be so fun." "It's addictive, isn't it?" Isla said, pulling back to beam at him. "And that's just the beginning. There's a whole world of cross-dressing out there, with different styles and genres to explore." Cody's mind raced with the possibilities. He'd never considered cross-dressing as an art form before, but now that he'd had a taste, he was hungry for more. Over the next few weeks, Cody and Isla dove headfirst into the world of cross-dressing. They spent hours in her studio, experimenting with different makeup techniques and perfecting Cody's lip-syncing skills. Isla taught him about padding and tucking, the tricks of the trade to create a feminine silhouette. Cody soaked it all up like a sponge, his confidence growing with each new skill he mastered. He found himself looking forward to their sessions, eager to slip into the persona of his cross-dress alter ego. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.